is December 28th, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold. How my Christmas went. We celebrated Christmas at my uncle's house this year, and I enjoyed myself for the most part. Um, but I definitely wanted to get some things off my chest. Sorry. Um, with the holidays, I think for the past 7, 8 years, it has. I mean, it's always a great time to be around family, but it's also like depressing at the same time. Partially because of my eating disorder, so that definitely has a lot to do with it because I started, yeah, like in September. Yeah, that's when my eating disorder, yeah, in the month of September. So long ago. Um, so it's definitely difficult. And when I first started, it kind of got picked up pretty fast and got serious pretty fast. It wasn't even like kind of gradual. Um, but again, like I said, I was celebrating with my family, so that was the enjoyable portion. I definitely had some moments where I was thinking about my dad and his absence and him not being there, so that definitely affected me. And on top of that, there's that one aunt that I'm always talking about who always is remarking, um, has a remark about my weight gain. So I've always in the past like kind of brushed it off and kept it moving, whatever. But like I've said to you guys, it bothers me. Um, so initially after that happened, I left and took a walk and tried to get on the phone with some of my best friends to talk, but they were both busy, which is fine. I get it. It's the holidays and you're around your family, so you get an excuse. It's okay. So I kept walking and eventually ended up crying because it was a better place to be outside. Took a walk for like 20, 30 minutes and got that out a little bit, then came back inside and cried and prayed. Like I said, it's just a lot, and I have a lot on my mind. Then, with all that in my mind, like I'm literally, and the two of these things don't even go together. I'm thinking about missing my dad and wanting him to be here, and then I'm thinking about my aunt's like comments in my mind. Like I already feel like crap about myself. That's just one small little issue on the scale of all the things that are going on with me in my world on a daily basis. I'm not comfortable in my skin. I don't like myself, and like I know I'm fat. I don't need you telling me that too. I know that I've gained a lot of weight. I don't need you reminding me, reminding me every time you see me. And granted, she's not malicious at all about it, and I do love her. It's just that one thing that I can't stand about her. And as soon as I came from upstairs to my cousins, we were after praying and crying and just releasing some of that. It was almost like I went on autopilot. And I went downstairs and I made 2 plates. One plate was full of like every single dessert that they had. I took like a pretty big slice. They had apple pie, some coconut pie, some sweet potato pie, cheesecake, German chocolate cake, all that. And then on another plate, I had everything, pretty much like my second plate of Thanksgiving dinner. Because when I'm at my aunt's house, I rarely eat. Like, it just makes me uncomfortable because her comments stick in my head. And I don't want to see her. I don't want her to see me eat, is what I meant. Excuse me. And so then I went upstairs and I ate that and ended up purging. Um, and before, it's always been like, because like I said, I'm in a weird place where I've said before, I just moved from Florida to where back to where I'm originally from, and for 2 years, I excuse me, um, was gaining weight. I went from before, because before I lived in Florida, I lived in South Carolina. I went from running 10 and 20 miles every day to binging and purging constantly. Everything that touched my lips left my stomach. Like, it didn't take long for it to come down because it came right back up. It was to the point where if you're bulimic and you know this, like, your stomach is not used to food, so even if you try to recover, it just, you're gonna vomit. I'm sorry. I felt extremely uncomfortable, and I just wasn't in a good place. So when my thoughts come back, when I'm being triggered and people are commenting on my weight, then I go back to, well, when I was that, then that's what I was doing. Granted, they don't know those things, so that's what my mind takes me back to. Oh, well, I could be doing that again, and this and this and this. And in the past, I'd get extremely, like, I'd remember how sad and depressed I was, and have to, like, reason with logic, like, you don't want to do that, because you know where that led you to. And this time, I don't care. It's almost like bulimia is like my distraction. I don't want to think about what's going on. I don't want to have to deal with real life. I just want to pause and put on the brakes. I don't want to have to think about how I feel like a failure and I'm 25 years old and I don't have a degree and I'm not married like I want to be, and this, that, and the fourth, and whatever, whatever, whatever. I don't want to have to think about those things. And this go around, I automatically, like I said, I cried, I prayed, I wiped my tears, I walked downstairs like I was on autopilot, filled up 2 plates filled, overflowing with food, okay? Ate them and purged like it was nothing. And since then, I've been purging every day. Granted, I'm sick, so it's been making it a little easier because it's not comfortable for me to eat. But I'll still do it and purge anyway. Because I don't care. Like, I already, not even talk, like, putting my weight aside. My appearance and how I feel about myself are not so great. I spend very little time in the mirror because I don't really know how I feel about myself. Like, my days are split up into one or two things. I either have ugly days or I have okay days. And more often than not, I have ugly days. So when we're just talking about my appearance, like my face, and how I feel about my face, and how I literally can't stand looking at my face for more than 10 seconds in the mirror because I start nitpicking every single thing. Then you talk about all this weight gain that I've gained. It just makes me uncomfortable. So what's the solution in my warped head? To do what I do best, to run, to go back to my eating disorder and just move from there. So who cares? Then you won't have anything to talk about. It doesn't matter, because then you can't talk about my weight. You can't. If I'm not chunky anymore, you can't. So I don't know. I just needed to vent. I feel super negative, and I'm sorry. I definitely hope the few people who watch this had a nice holidays. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that.